what the actual did I get myself into?
Hey guys, Pat Heine, video producer here at Runner's World, and I'm going to find out what it's like to run 200 miles. I'm headed over to Italy to take on Tour de Geants. It's this monster 200-mile race through the Alps. It's twice as far as I've ever run before. The race also has almost 80,000 feet of elevation gain, which is like climbing Everest over 2.5 times. Two flights, 2 buses, and 3 countries later, finally made it to Courmayeur. We're definitely not in Kansas anymore. Good morning. Race day. Weather looks pretty good. Don't want to get blisters and have 100 or more miles to go. Definitely went into it thinking like, I got this, it's just twice as far as I've run before, which I did going from half marathon to a marathon, but it only took me 20 miles to realize that I was way in over my head. That's the view after 3 miles. And this is where we're headed. Not really in a hurry. Straight into winter. Okay. What? Ciao. Time meant nothing. It was all about getting over the next peak or 2 peaks, however many it was, to the next aid station, because you don't even know how long that's going to take. It's definitely the hardest thing that I've ever done. That's not scary. Sometimes going downhill is worse than going uphill. The climb to the highest point of the course, which was up to 11,000 feet, I would sit down and eat a whole gel before I would keep moving, just to make sure that I was taking enough calories. This climb is so long. I still have to go all the way up into that snow. So after 29.5 hours, finally a third of the way through the race. It was awesome that, you know, you get to go up these huge mountains and see this terrain that I can't really experience around here, but you also get to go through these towns, and that's really cool because I don't know of any races in North America where you have that. You get to enter Donas, which is essentially the halfway point on this road that was built by the Romans. I just hope my legs hold up for the second half as much as this road does. I knew that these fixed ropes and steep, just really exposed sections were part of the race, but once I got there, I realized that I could not have prepared for that. So I just had to take it one step at a time and just get through it and get to a section where I was more comfortable. Almost to the top. Wow. As I'm like looking through what happened, I'm realizing that I don't know when anything happened. Mountains flat. I'm 58 hours in this race, and I've officially just gone farther than I've ever run before. It's the middle of the night, and I'm just on a mountain in the middle of Italy. So everything from here on is a new PR. Yeah, last night I had like a full-on panic attack on this pretty exposed climb. I only had 3 hours of sleep at that point, 65 hours in. I was prepared for a lot of weird things to happen, like my feet would swell a lot, but they ended up swelling so much that I had to cut the sides of my shoes open just to give myself a little bit extra room. And I ended up running almost 70 miles like that.
Less than 30 miles left, but it's so hard to get up. The runner that I was with last night left me this note and some trekking poles and food. I guess I gotta get up and get back to Courmayeur and finish.
I guess they're not impressed. They just want to eat. It's a half marathon left with this in the middle. Here it is. Final climb. We have to go up in between two of those rocks and then down the other side. It's only 10K. Everything in the race pretty much builds up to this last climb, and then it's all downhill to the finish line from there. But that last climb was so hard that once I got to the top, I didn't really have any energy left to celebrate or get really emotional, and I just had to like sit down and take a break before running that last 10K. It was like 10 o'clock on a Friday night and people were out at the bars and they would stop what they were doing and just cheer whoever was coming in. It was cool to hear them like from down the road too. And then, of course, like everything else in that race, even the finish line was up a hill. So, let's go. Hard. It was really cool that after the race they had this graduation ceremony for everyone that finished all of the races. And they did the podium presentation, but then they also called up every finisher by name. There was just this sense of community of everyone that had come to this town for the same reason. I definitely got my ass kicked by this race, but I'm okay with that because I went into it looking to do something new, and it actually felt kind of exciting to be new at something again and just like do a race to see if you can do it. This shot's for my mom.